I'm ready. Domestic support, or the lack thereof, that's probably one of the biggest challenges that most couples struggle with, particularly when they come to me for counseling. They're trying to figure out how they can begin to manage household affairs. And so today's book of the week is The Superior Wife Syndrome: Why Women Do Everything So Well and Why, for the sake of our marriages, we've got to stop. Giving Up Control and Return to Intimacy by Carin Rubenstein. Now, this book came out a few years ago, and I tell you, I read it literally every single year. And every time I read this book, it just opens itself up to me in a new way, because it's like my eyes have become brand new. And it's just a reminder of what so many couples struggle with. You know, it's been said that when a man and a woman get married, you know, women get the burdens of marriage and men get the blessings of marriage, because the responsibilities and the obligations and the tasks and the duties of the marriage fall heavily upon the woman. And it's so interesting because I'm just going to read, you know, a quick statement that's in the introduction of the book, which really sets the tone for what the book gets into. It says, "The wife is the one who can't get hit by a truck. She's the one who develops expertise in nearly all aspects of modern life. She becomes the de facto master of the marital domain, while she also earns a significant part of the family's income. It's as if by taking on a husband, a wife gains a dependent, not quite a child, but not quite a partner either." I thought that was a powerful statement, because this is the biggest issue that I find couples struggle with. It's just like when a man has a job, he works 9 to 5, come home, and when he enters into the household, he needs to rest, he needs to recuperate, he needs to release, he needs to relax, he needs to get his thoughts and his mind together before he can begin to engage with the family. So he doesn't want the kids, you know, crowding around him. He doesn't want to deal with all the pressures of home. He needs time to de-stress. And then once he's de-stressed, then he can engage. But interestingly enough, we find that there are so many women who also work 9 to 5s. And when they come home, they have to now enter into their second shift, because they're working from 5 to 9. So when they get home, immediately they're dealing with bills and babies and PTA meetings and, you know, organizing extracurricular activities and managing baths and cooking meals and cleaning the house. And they have so many duties and responsibilities and tasks associated with this marital plan that they've two come together on. And it's very frustrating. And what happens is so many women are deciding to quit. You know, it's quite interesting. When you look at the statistics, I ask this question all the time: who initiates marriage, men or women? Interestingly enough, women initiate marriage. Yes, it's true that men pop the question. We get on one knee and ask, "Will you marry me?" But the thought, the idea, the conversation generally is initiated by a woman. But then when you look at the statistics of who initiates divorce, 70 to 97% of divorces are initiated by women. Why would that be? Well, this book, The Superior Wife Syndrome, speaks to that. They feel as if the men are getting the blessings or the benefit of the marriage, and women are getting the burdens. So it talks about how to even up the scales, if you will, how to properly delegate responsibilities within the home so she is not burnt out. One of the frustrations that women have is that men have a desire to be intimate with them, but after a long day of working a full-time job and then dealing with all the responsibilities in the home, she's tired, she's exhausted, and here he comes tapping on her shoulder 10, 11 o'clock at night because he wants to engage in something, and she's done. And so it's hard to go from mommy to a sex kitten in the bedroom. It's hard to go from I have all of these roles and responsibilities and duties to now showing up in the way that you want me to show up. And according to the book, it talks about how when couples come together or partners come together and form a relationship, If they have a clear plan of how responsibilities and roles are going to be properly delegated, it frees her up. He takes on more of a responsibility in the home. He goes from being, quote unquote, incompetent, as the book describes, to competent as a partner. And as a result of that, they both benefit from intimacy, from communication, from, recreational companionship, from just enjoying the relationship. So less and less women are experiencing burnout. And so this is a part of what we talk about when we talk about being a skillful couple. A skillful couple simply means that you're going to learn the proper skills to make your relationship work. But the problem is, most of us, when we get married, we've spent 8 months to a year preparing for the wedding day and about 3 or 4 hours preparing for the marriage. So we spend all of our day preparing for a day and very little time preparing for the day after. And so all of our expectations and assumptions about what marriage life will be like are completely destroyed. And so we need a proper perspective, and we need to deal with this with sober minds in order to have the relationship we want. So listen, get the book, The Superior Wife Syndrome. This book is incredible, and it will revolutionize how you do marriage in your home. That is this week's Book of the Week.